My name's Scott McCoy.
Chris Hardowitz.
David Criscuolo.
My name is Max Ondo, and I'm a trumpet player here at the Cavaliers. I decided to join the Cavaliers because of my involvement in Chromium Winds. It was my first high-level competitive marching experience, and so those were really formative seasons for me. And throughout all that time, the staff and some of the marching members were Cavaliers, so for me, many of the people I looked up to early on in my marching career had gears around their neck. So that's what really drew me here to want to become a Cavalier.
There are people that I'd heard about and seen in winter groups around my area, and people that had taught other people that I'd spun with, just a bunch of names that I'd heard of, and it just turned out to be a lot of people that I really ended up respecting, even though I never personally really knew any of them. And then basically as soon as I sent in a video audition and started talking with the members, I thought that I could really find a home here. And it ended up pretty much being the perfect fit for me. I love all the people here, and that's entirely what drew me back, is the community and the brotherhood that I found with all the other members.
I was a member here from 93 through 96, played snare drum, and I grew up in this area, so it was kind of a home core choice. So that's initially what brought me to here. I saw my first drum corps show in 1985. It was the Cavaliers home show, and that kind of blew me away because I'd never seen anything. I was 10 years old at the time. And I was kind of like, I need to do this activity, and the green machine was like a logical choice.
I started with the Cavaliers in, actually saw the first show in 1967, 3 days after the Hall Fire, the famous Hall Fire the Cavaliers experienced. It was an American Legion State, and then I got interested in from there. My first year marching was, and I started in what we called the B Corps at the time, which was taking drum lessons and learning, and then in 1969 I started in the flag line. It was my first year marching. Marched in the color guard for 9 years, culminating in 1977 as the color guard sergeant.
What has surprised me about the Cavaliers in my time here is how much we prioritize people over everything. So I always thought of drum corps as a very results-based activity before I came here, paying attention to the scores, paying attention to the caption trophies, that sort of thing. But when I came here to the Cavaliers, obviously we're a highly competitive organization, but really we prioritize taking care of our brothers and taking care of everybody who travels down the road with us before anything else.
It was a little bit of both, just because when you're looking from the outside in, they appear like that they're supermen. I mean, the nickname for the uniform is the super suit, so it makes perfect sense that they seem like they're 100 feet tall and they're these machines. And the fact that the Corps' nickname is Green Machine is all fitting. But you're like, there's no way I could ever do that. And when you get into it, you see the inner workings of it, and you start to actually question, like the first time you're doing a full run through after you've learned all the drill and all the music, you're just dying, and you're just like looking around at the vets going, is this what it's going to be like all summer? And eventually, I mean, you get it. It ends up being something that you can deal with through the day, but you're just trying to survive at the very beginning, and you just get stronger and better, and just everything starts clicking. And then by the time you're at your peak, now suddenly you are treated like a rock star, because then you've got little kids like the 10-year-old me that is looking at you going, oh my gosh, you're a Superman. And I'm like, no, I'm nobody. I'm just like a kid. You don't feel like an adult, you just feel like a kid doing something amazing, but you almost don't have any recollection of what it was like until you see it through that kid's eyes. You're like, oh my gosh, I was him.
The amount of emphasis on brotherhood and caring for the people around you. This is such a stressful activity, and it can become a very you against the world type of activity where you have to do your own job, and it's the only thing that you have time to worry about because you don't have any time to yourself. But the amount of times that I've been having a rough day and someone has come up to me and just asked how I was doing or what they can do to make me, you know, have a better day than I was, has been surprising and inspiring. And that's one of my favorite things about this place, is just how many people are always there to support you whenever you need anyone.
So being with the Cavaliers has changed my life in a multitude of ways that have absolutely nothing to do with drum corps. It's giving me a great group of friends, of lifelong brothers to sort of interact with, to hang on to when times get tough. And it's taught me a lot of things about myself as well. So I've learned how to push myself beyond what I previously thought was possible. It's taught me how to better organize my life, and it's taught me about what sacrificing your own needs for a greater cause means.
First and foremost, 100% time management. And I think that's pretty much the same with anyone that you ask. That's, if not number one, that's one of the top things that gets affected. Here you have no time. You wake up, you have to eat, you have to transport all your stuff to your rehearsal site, however far that is from where you woke up. And all of the little things, like how much time you have to shower, how much time you have to do, and how many things you have to bring from here to here, and the stops that you have to make in between, it gets your head thinking in a different way, where you have to be super efficient with your time. And that also comes with rehearsing too, because if you waste time on the rehearsal field, that will show up late season, and you'll be backloading the rehearsal time that you'll need, and it will become more stressful later. So transporting that out of the rehearsal field just became natural. Waking up a tiny bit earlier, you know, at college, getting into classes 10 minutes earlier, trying to get ahead on things instead of waiting till the last minute, because at that point you're super backloaded and it's really hard to catch up. And aside from what rehearsal and the logistical life has been like, the support and community that has been built here has really resonated with me in terms of how you should go about forming relationships with a team. And so any team or group that I join, I try to bring tenets that I've learned from this place to whatever organization I'm joining, and that's so far seemed to have a very positive effect on any organization that I join. The other people there are always great when you approach it the right way. With all the things that I've learned here, it's very natural to find great ways to get great things out of groups that you join outside of the Cavaliers.
Man, it's lifelong friends. Even though I grew up here, I live in Kentucky right now, and there's a whole bunch of Kentuckians that used to go to University of Kentucky. Jim Campbell is the percussion professor there, was at the time when I was there as well. And so there was a natural connection. And so those guys I'm still hanging out with. Obviously life has things that happen and you don't get together as frequently, but we're still, we got a group text and things that amuse us or just, life things happen, celebrating everybody's accomplishments, their kids' accomplishments. I mean, people graduating high school, going to college, and like, oh my gosh, we're still children ourselves, yet our children are growing up. We stay together. The people that I met here in 2008 for the anniversary corps, those people are lifelong friends, but some of them are decades older or younger, and I'm making new friends now. And I told them this morning that they're my road dogs. If they need me for anything, I'm there for them. And some of these people I met 2 days ago. We're conversing over email and stuff like that, but I mean it. These people are lifelong friends, and there's just this bond, unspoken, regardless of decades. I've met guys and played with guys that are old enough to be my father, and I've played with ones that are almost young enough to be my kid. And it's as if we went through this shared experience together, but we really didn't, but we also did in a more holistic way.
Being involved in the Cavaliers has guided my entire life, clearly and directly, not just inspired from an inspiration standpoint or from the fraternity standpoint in the relationships, but it's also everything I've done and everything I've become has been related to my time in the Cavaliers. meeting my wife. Our children are both still very involved in drum corps at both DCI and at the Phantom Regiment. And our life has revolved around drum corps, and specifically the Cavaliers have been the direct driver of that relationship and that association.
My message for the Cavaliers of tomorrow is to treat every day as if it was special. We are so incredibly fortunate to get to be here in this place doing what we love with this group of people in this organization. And you need to cherish every moment of it because it's going to be gone before you know it.
Work hard, support the people around you, and you will feel supported the same way. And try to remember as much as you can. Write down things in a journal, because I promise you, you will forget it and it will be gone like that. And you know, as much as your knees may hurt by the end of the season, you'll be wishing that you got another one once you're done.
You guys are growing up in a different world, but you guys are handling it like champs. I'm actually blown away at how mature and just professional you guys are. To me, I feel like that the world is going to be better off because you guys are going to be the leaders, and Cavaliers have always just figured things out. You know, if something happens, good, bad, or ugly, we figure it out. That's what we do. And I have every faith that you guys are going to continue to do that. And I look forward to seeing what you all can accomplish, because what you guys are doing on the field now is way beyond everything we could have even dreamed of doing.
The Cavaliers have a unique quality, a unique bond within ourselves, but that often appears to be a wall between ourselves and people outside the organization and throughout the activity. And it's not. It's really a very uniquely welcoming organization. And that's, I think, probably the biggest thing that surprises people when they come in, whether it's, you know, volunteering on the cook truck or being on the media team or you know, any other role in the organization, is they expect that there's going to be this resistance that they have to break through a wall to get here. And it's really an incredibly welcoming, friendly environment, and thankful for everybody's participation.